Hello friends. So in the last session we were talking about the constructors, the characteristics of the constructors, and we have talked about what actually a constructor is. A constructor is a member function of the class with the same name as that of the class name, and we have talked about several characteristics of the constructor. So in this video let us see the different types of constructors. A constructor can either be a default constructor, a parameterized constructor, or a copy constructor. Let us start with the parameterized constructor. As the name suggests, a constructor having various arguments, like told in the previous lectures, a constructor may have or may not have. A constructor never have a return value, but a constructor may have or may not have different arguments or parameters. A constructor containing arguments is said to be a parameterized constructor. It may be necessary to initialize the various data elements of different objects with different values when they are created. See, it is not always necessary that whenever the object of the class is created, we know a constructor is being invoked to initialize the value to the data members of the class. But it is not always necessary that we always initialize the values of the data members to be 0. Different objects can have different values for the different members of the same class. So this is achieved by passing arguments to the constructor function whenever the objects are created. If we are not intentionally passing the values, that all values will be initialized to 0. But in case if we want to pass different values to different members of the class, what we will be doing, how this will be achieved using the parameterized constructor, where we will be passing either the different types of arguments or the different number of arguments to the constructor function. The constructors that can take arguments are called parameterized constructors. Now we will see an example to the parameterized constructor. See, this is an example of the parameterized constructor. Like in the previous video, I have shown you what a constructor means. So let us see what a parameterized constructor is. The same class with the name add, having m and n as its data members, and add is now a constructor function because this is in the same name as that of the class name. Now here we are passing two integer values to this constructor function, right? And then how this constructor is to be invoked? Using the name of the class to which it belongs without mentioning the return type, because a constructor never has a return type. So we will be writing the name of the class to which the constructor function belongs, followed by a scope resolution operator, the name of the constructor, and because we are talking about parameterized constructor, we will be passing different arguments, either different types of arguments or different number of arguments can be passed depending upon the situation, how we want to initialize the objects of the class. So this is a very simple example of parameterized constructor. The only thing, the important thing to note is that we have to give certain parameters to this constructor, and then we are assigning values to m and n, the members of the class. See, now when a constructor is parameterized, we must pass whenever a constructor is parameterized, we must pass the initial values as arguments to the constructor function whenever an object is declared. Now, there can be two ways of calling a constructor function. Either we can call it implicitly or explicitly. An explicit constructor function is to be called like writing the values or passing the values in place of parameters as add sum equals to add 2, 3. While if we will be doing it implicitly, what can be done? Add sum, we are calling the function by passing its values to the members of the class. This is termed as shorthand operator. Now, it is not necessary it is not always necessary that a class will contain only the parameterized constructor or the copy constructor or the default constructor. A class can have multiple constructors in itself. See, C++ permits to use more than one constructor in a single class. Like here, add is a constructor with no arguments. Here, add is a constructor with two different arguments. And again, here is an example to show the multiple constructors in the same class. We have made the class named add data members as MNN public, because we always have to declare the constructor inside the public section. Okay, we cannot make a constructor to be private or protected. Although a constructor can never be inherited, but the derived class can have access to the constructor of its base class. So in the public section, what we have done, we have taken three types of constructors: add, add. These all are the constructor functions with the same name as that of its class name. The first is without arguments, the second is with two integer values, and in third we are taking the address. See, the first constructor receives no arguments, the second constructor receives two integer arguments, and the third constructor receives one add object as an argument. So this is an example of multiple constructor in the same class. This is again another example for the same. We have again taken a class add, right? See, to explain this now, add A1. Here A1 is now an object. A1 is now an object to the class add, and this would automatically invoke the first constructor and set both m and n of A1 to 0. But as I told, it is not always necessary that we initialize the objects to the same value to be 0. It depends upon the situation, it depends upon the user that what values are we going to pass to the constructor function. So there comes the role of constructor. Now in add A2 we are passing two implicit values as 10, 20. It would call the second constructor, this one, int A or B. Here A will take the value of 10 and B will take the value 20, which will initialize the data members m and n of A2 to 10 and 20 respectively. Then here, when we talk about an object A3 of the class add and we are passing A2 here, what this will do, it would invoke the third constructor which will copy the values of A2 into A3, and that will come under the concept of copy constructor that we will be talking next, and I will be explaining you this in detail in my next session. Now, construction overloading more than one constructor function is defined in a class is termed to be as constructor overloading. As we have talked about function overloading, we have talked about operator overloading. In the same fashion, it works for constructor overloading as well, and we'll be talking about these things in our next lecture. Thank you class. Have a nice day.